Good morning, everybody. Pastor Stitch, Narrow Path Christian Church, BC, Bay City, Michigan. Welcome to the Biker Devotional. Today is December 30th, 2024. We are coming in very close to the end of the year. Real quick, if you're not in our area, I kind of challenge you to ring in the new year with us in prayer. Here in Bay City, we will be gathering up at Narrow Path Christian Church at 7 o'clock. And we will be having a community prayer night where we are going to spend time with song, with the Word. People, you all get to participate in giving the Word, sharing Scripture, praying, repenting, all about just getting ourselves right with God as we go into 2025. But before we do that, sometimes it's really good to look back and reflect, isn't it? Now, reflection is really important, but it's not someplace to live. I was having a conversation with someone last night before we left the church, and we were talking, and I said, often in the recovery community, we're taught to look back into the past so that we can plan for today, so we can learn to live in today, and that's what we're taught. But that's not really what the program teaches. The program teaches you to look into the past, live today, plan for tomorrow. Don't live in the past and plan for today. Live today and plan for tomorrow. One of the things we do when we live in the past is we find excuses for the things that we do, or we find our workaround. It's interesting that even the Jews, with their great set of laws that God gave them, came up with ways to get around them. Like, they had this rule, they could only walk so far on a Sabbath. It's called the Sabbath Day Walk. But it was only so far from your dirt, your property. And so they would carry some of their dirt in their pocket, and once they walked as far as they could go, then they could drop that dirt and walk that much further. And then they'd say, well, I didn't break the law because I only walked so far from my dirt. Today's verse addresses that same thought. Proverbs chapter 30, verse 20. This is the way of an adulteress. She eats and wipes her mouth and says, I've done nothing wrong. This literally is a reference to oral sex, just so we're not confused. And saying, but I didn't have sex. This is something that today's generation is doing a lot of. I'm technically not having sex. I'm still a virgin, whatever it might be. But it's not just about sex. It's about everything in our lives. I'm technically not breaking my connection with God because, well, I didn't do exactly that, I only went so far. I didn't go all the way. It's just as detestable to the Lord. In my readings this morning, I'm reading about a prophet addressing the priests and saying to them, God doesn't like any of your sacrifices. They're detestable. And the priests say, why? He said, because they're not pure. Well, they are. We purified them. No, but they're blind. You have a whole good, pure lamb in your flock, and you take the blind one and bring it and sacrifice it because you don't want to use that blind lamb to replenish your stock. It's the way of an adulteress. She eats and wipes her mouth and says, I've done nothing wrong. Today, as we go into these last couple of days of this year, as you wrap up your year, however you want to do that, we will be doing it in prayer. it would be good to evaluate whether you're that adulterous or not. Whether you've made the excuses and said, I didn't break any rules really. I'll be honest with you, there are many areas in my life where, I've crossed that line, even this year. And God and I are working on those. I'm not going to live in the past. I'm evaluating the past. I'm living today and planning for tomorrow. What about you? I love y'all. Hope you have a great day. God bless.